Hello friends. What if everything you have been taught about money is actually the reason why you are struggling to build wealth? Imagine spending your whole life working hard, saving money, and still feeling like you are falling behind while others seem to get richer every year. The truth is, money is a game, and like every game, it has rules. Most people never learn those rules, so they keep making the same mistakes again and again. But today, that is about to change. In this video, we will explore the powerful lessons from the game of money and discover why some people always stay ahead, how the wealthy think differently, how every dollar can become a tool that works for you instead of disappearing from your pocket, and the simple habits that can help you win the money game for life. These ideas are practical, easy to understand, and can completely change the way you look at earning, saving, investing, and growing your money. So make sure you watch this video until the very end, because the final lesson may completely change your financial future. If you find this video valuable, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Finance Book for more powerful book summaries and life-changing money lessons. Now let's begin and learn how to start winning the game that most people do not even realize they are playing. Chapter 1. Why most people lose the money game before they even start. Have you ever wondered why two people can earn almost the same income, yet one becomes wealthy while the other stays trapped in financial stress for years? Most people believe the answer is luck, a better job or a higher salary. But the real reason is much deeper. They are playing completely different games. Imagine two friends who graduate from college together. Both get good jobs and earn enough to live comfortably. The first person spends every paycheck as soon as it arrives. A bigger salary leads to a bigger apartment, a newer car, and more expensive habits. The second person also enjoys life, but before spending anything, they save a part of every paycheck and look for ways to make that money grow. 10 years later, their lives look completely different. One is still working just to pay bills, while the other owns investments that continue making money every single month. Here is the interesting part. The difference was never their income, it was the way they played the game. The book explains that money follows simple rules. If you know those rules, money becomes easier to manage. If you ignore them, you keep working harder without getting ahead. Sadly, most schools teach us how to earn money, but very few teach us how to keep it, grow it, and make it work for us. That is why so many intelligent and hardworking people still struggle financially. Think about it. Have you ever received extra money from a bonus, a tax refund, or even a gift? It probably felt exciting at first, but after a few weeks, that money was gone, and life returned to normal. This happens because most people treat extra money as something to spend instead of something to build with. Many successful investors understand this lesson early. They know that every dollar has a job. Instead of asking, "What can I buy with this money?" they ask, "How can this money earn more money?" That single question changes everything. Over time, small decisions create huge results because money grows when it is given the chance. Picture this. Imagine planting two seeds. One seed is left on a table where it never grows. The other is planted in good soil, watered regularly, and given time. Years later, it becomes a strong tree, producing hundreds of new seeds. Money works in exactly the same way. When you spend everything, nothing grows. When you invest wisely and stay patient, your money begins creating more money. This is why the first rule of the money game is not about earning more. It is about thinking differently. Wealth always begins in the mind before it appears in your bank account. The moment you stop seeing money as something to spend and start seeing it as a tool to build your future, you begin playing by a completely different set of rules. And once you understand that the game is controlled by hidden rules instead of luck, one big question remains. What are those rules that wealthy people follow every day without most people even noticing? That is exactly what we will uncover in the next chapter. Chapter 2. The Hidden Rules the Wealthy Play. By what if the biggest difference between rich people and everyone else is not how much they earn, but the rules they follow every single day? Most people think wealthy people have secret opportunities that ordinary people never get. But something surprising happens when you study successful investors, business owners, and entrepreneurs. They all follow a few simple principles that anyone can learn. Imagine you are playing a board game for the first time. You know how to move the pieces, but you do not know the rules. Another player understands every rule, every shortcut, and every winning strategy. Who is more likely to win? The answer is obvious. Life with money works the same way. If you do not know the rules, you can work harder than everyone else and still lose. One of the most important rules is this: always pay yourself first. Most people receive their paycheck, pay bills, buy things they want, and save whatever is left. The problem is that almost nothing is left. Wealthy people reverse this process. The moment they earn money, they set aside a portion for saving and investing before spending on anything else. They treat their future like the most important bill they will ever pay. Think about it. If you wait until the end of the month to save, unexpected expenses and small purchases will usually take that money away. But when saving becomes your first habit instead of your last choice, your financial future begins to change automatically. Now consider another hidden rule. Wealthy people understand the difference between an expense and an investment. An expense takes money out of your pocket and gives little back. An investment has the potential to create more value over time. This does not mean rich people never spend money. They simply ask one important question before making a purchase. Will this help my future, or will it only make me happy for a few days? Think about famous investor Warren Buffett. Even after becoming one of the richest people in the world, he became known for living below his means and focusing on long-term investing instead of showing off his wealth. His success did not come from buying more things. It came from letting his investments grow year after year. Here is another rule that most people ignore. Do not let emotions control your financial decisions. When markets rise, many people become excited and buy at high prices. When markets fall, fear takes over and they sell everything. Wealthy investors stay calm. They know that emotional decisions often lead to expensive mistakes. Patience usually wins where panic fails. Picture this. A farmer does not dig up a seed every week to check if it is growing. He waters it, protects it, and gives it time. Investing works the same way. The people who build lasting wealth understand that success is not created overnight. It grows through consistent action, smart choices, and patience. The hidden rules of money are not complicated, but they require discipline. Pay yourself first. Invest before you spend. Focus on long-term value instead of short-term excitement. Keep your emotions under control. These simple habits may not seem dramatic today, but over the years they create extraordinary results. Now that you understand the rules the wealthy follow, another important question appears. Once you have saved money, what should you actually do with it? How can every single dollar become a powerful player working on your behalf? That is exactly what we will discover in the next chapter. Chapter 3. Turning every dollar into your strongest player. What if every single dollar you earn could become a tiny employee that works for you day and night without ever asking for a vacation? Most people see money as something to spend. They work hard, get paid, and then watch their paycheck disappear on bills, shopping, and entertainment. But the people who truly win the money game see every dollar differently. They see it as a worker that can earn even more money. Imagine this. You receive an extra $100. One choice is to spend it on something that makes you happy for a few days. The other choice is to put that money into an investment that continues growing year after year. At first, the difference seems small, but something powerful happens over time. That single decision begins creating a chain reaction that can completely change your financial future. Here is the interesting part. Wealth is rarely built by one huge decision. It is built by hundreds of small, smart decisions repeated over many years. Every time you invest instead of spending, you are hiring another worker to help build your future. The more workers you have, the less you depend only on your paycheck. Think about a small snowball rolling down a snowy hill. At the beginning, it is tiny and easy to ignore. But as it keeps rolling, it collects more snow and grows bigger and bigger. Money works in exactly the same way. The longer you allow it to grow, the faster it begins creating more money through the power of compounding. Many successful people have understood this lesson. Bill Gates once said that most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. That idea perfectly matches the money game. People often want quick results, but real wealth usually comes from staying consistent over a long period. Now picture this. 2 people save the same amount of money every month. The first person starts investing at the age of 25. The second waits until 35 because they think they have plenty of time. Even if the second person saves more each month later, the first person often ends up with far greater wealth because their money had more time to grow. Time is one of the greatest advantages in the money game. Another powerful lesson is diversification. Imagine building a table with only one leg. It cannot stand for very long. But a table with 4 strong legs stays balanced, even when pressure is added. Your financial life should work the same way. Instead of depending on only one source of income, look for ways to build multiple streams over time. This could include investments, a business, valuable skills, or other assets that continue producing income. When one source slows down, the others help keep you moving forward. Most people believe they need a fortune before they can start investing. That belief keeps them stuck. The truth is, you do not need to be rich to begin. You become rich by beginning. Even small amounts invested consistently can grow into something meaningful when combined with patience and discipline. The biggest mistake is not starting with a small amount. The biggest mistake is waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Every day you delay is another day your money is not working for you. Now you know how to turn every dollar into a powerful player on your financial team. But there is one final challenge. Building wealth is important, yet keeping it and growing it for the rest of your life is the real victory. In the final chapter, we will discover how to stay ahead and truly win the money game for life. Chapter 4. How to stay ahead and win the money game for life. What if becoming wealthy is not the hardest part? What if the real challenge is keeping your wealth and making it grow for the rest of your life? Many people earn a lot of money at some point, yet only a few manage to stay financially secure. The difference is not luck. It is the habits they practice long after they have achieved success. Imagine this. A man climbs to the top of a mountain after years of effort. Reaching the top feels like the biggest victory of his life. But if he loses his balance, one careless step can send him all the way back down. Money works the same way. Building wealth is an achievement, but protecting it requires wisdom, discipline, and patience every single day. Most people believe that once they become financially comfortable, they can stop paying attention to their money. But something surprising happens. Small, careless decisions begin to add up. Expensive lifestyles, unnecessary debt, emotional spending, and poor investments slowly weaken the foundation they worked so hard to build. Winning the money game is not about making one brilliant move. It is about avoiding the mistakes that can erase years of progress. Think about it. Every successful athlete continues training even after winning a championship. Every successful business keeps improving even after becoming profitable. Financial success follows the same pattern. The moment you believe there is nothing left to learn is often the moment you stop growing. Many of the world's most successful entrepreneurs continue reading books, studying markets, and learning new skills throughout their lives. Jeff Bezos built one of the world's largest companies by constantly thinking about the future instead of becoming comfortable with today's success. His mindset reminds us that long-term winners stay curious and continue adapting as the world changes. Another important lesson is to prepare for the unexpected. Life does not always follow your plans. Jobs change, businesses face challenges, markets rise and fall, and emergencies happen without warning. People who win the money game understand this reality. They build emergency savings, avoid taking unnecessary risks, and make decisions that protect their future instead of chasing quick rewards. Picture this. 2 sailors are crossing the ocean. One checks the weather, repairs the boat, and carries extra supplies before leaving. The other believes everything will be fine and ignores every warning. When the storm arrives, only one of them is truly prepared. Your financial life should be built the same way. Preparation creates confidence, while neglect creates fear. Perhaps the greatest lesson from the game of money is that wealth is more than the number in your bank account. True financial success means having choices. It means having the freedom to spend time with your family, support the people you love, follow your dreams, and live without constant stress about money. That kind of freedom cannot be bought overnight. It is created through years of wise decisions, steady habits, and a long-term mindset. So remember the journey we have taken together. First, we learned that most people lose because they never understand the rules of the game. Then we discovered the hidden principles that wealthy people quietly follow. Next, we saw how every dollar can become a worker that builds even more wealth. And finally, we learned that lasting success comes from protecting what you build, continuing to learn, and thinking far beyond today. The money game is not won by the smartest person or the luckiest person. It is won by the person who stays patient, makes wise choices, and refuses to quit. Starting today, treat every financial decision as a move in a game that will shape your future. Play with purpose, stay consistent, and over time you will not just earn money, you will build a life of freedom, confidence, and lasting wealth.